Hey, good morning. Good morning. Looking for some buys here on gold. Looking for a bullish continuation on price on PA. It's actually a nice little accumulation break here. Stop loss 19.5 pips. Oh. 2.58. Let's see. Oh, let me see if I can get a re-entry on this. All right, so I just took my buy here. Stop loss just below this structural point. Yeah, expecting price to continue to move up bullish. Oh, I hope I don't get faked out. This was the only thing I was cautious. I was worried about was that London Open fakey, but the setup does look good. It did look good to break above to continue moving up bullish. Come on, Goldie, don't fake me out. Trading with a daily trend over here. Currently up 0.74%. Ooh. See, can I survive? Because I'm thinking maybe the entry could have come in earlier. We got a wick over here, but the entry might have been right here. At a 32.99. Yeah, I think I might have rushed that. Let's see if we can at least hold 32.97. It's gonna take a miracle for this thing to flip. Come on. Let's go with the bullish trend. Bullish trend, you can survive. Come on, bullish trend, let's go. Bullish trend, let's go. I think the issue here was that the entry might have come a bit earlier. It might have been a bit earlier, but you know, we're still in the right direction of the market. Come on, baby, let's skyrocket. If you don't feel comfortable about the trade, you know, you can close off here when you get to break even. If you're not comfortable, you're at break even right now. Let me see how these buyers here looking. All right, so these buyers that had their... Okay, so they had a profit target over there being hit. They got about like 10 pips from that move. Five-minute candle just closed. Created a support. Couple of rejections over there too. Little small break and retest area over here. It's creating a potential head and shoulders. But we need to reflip. This candlestick still needs to close. It's on a swing entry distribution, maybe 200 EMA holding it. $200 EMA. Oh, you got 200 EMA on there too. You know, because right now there's a lot of volume towards the upside. So that's what I'm kind of, that's what I'm really putting a confluence here. And we also got this little break and retest situation with the London Open, some rejection wicks. I think we got some room. It would either be an entry down over here, the way I'm looking at it, entry down over here, or entry above these highs by like, that's going to be 3301. $33.01. So I think if we're going to move up for the London session, I also just wanted to get in like a good entry. Nice little break and retest structure over there too. Like how we're creating new higher highs, create a higher high, create a support. We also got a little bit of rejection wicks over here. It would be nice to see this SMA here catch up on the 5-minute time frame. Want to see the buyers really push this thing up. 99% sure it will fly now. What's this? I use just to see state of time frame. So above normally buys have more chance of success. Oh, nice. Very nice. Yeah, again, if you don't feel comfortable, you know, feel free to get out, break even. Yeah, it's still hovering around this area over here. Swept 1 hour liquidity. I like that at least after giving us that pullback, it like the 5-minute here reflipped and closed bullish, creating like a support and some rejections over there. So that to me looked really good, as opposed to like if it closed bearish. Oh, look at this. Come on, let's fly, baby. Let's fly.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
You need to get through that SMA right here. Let's fly, Goldie. I believe in you. Red Bull gives you wings, Goldie. Red Bull gives you wings. All right, guys. Securing some profit over here. Stop loss to break even. Beautiful. TP just got hit for me. Secured some. Nice, 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 nice. Let's freaking go, Chad. Let's freaking go. Yeah, I got a very bullish bias here on the day. A very bullish bias here on the day. So that's how I was like, if I'm going to get a buy, let me get my buy right now. Not later. Right now. Let me just execute and secure something. Really nice. Really nice. All right, so it's got some room here to still move up. Still got about, you know, like 32 pips. 32 pips to continue moving up. Now that would be the swing entry model for price to continue moving bullish. So I think, you know, it's a pretty good trade here. I think this was a pretty good trade. Yeah, that's it. Hey, good morning, good morning. So much confluence after that pullback. That's why after I was feeling so good on the trade, today not using full lot size just to close off the month. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's the end of the month here, so you wanna keep your profits, or you wanna at least you know, just be a little bit cautious here. We had FOMC statement yesterday too. Yeah, I felt more comfortable about a buy here. You know, sometimes... Wait a second. Sometimes the little riskier trades are actually the ones which play out. You know, sometimes you gotta take a little bit of a risk. Gotta take a little risk in life. Those are actually sometimes the safer options. Fastest trade in the West, in the Wild West. Wild West. I don't like the way gold is behaving though right now, to be honest with you. Low-key, it's like very volatile. It's good volume, but it's like, it's very volatile. It's whipping up and down a little bit too much. Give it little whips, little whip here, little whip there. But good morning, good morning. Good day, good day. Nice end of the month trade, yes. Hey, we got Derek in the chat. What's up, Architect? Noni. Woods as always. Brian, Studies Corner. What's good? What's good? Trading. Nice to see you here today, trading. Ricardo, what's up? Luke in the chat. Just being watching this 1 minute play out, did not take it. Oh, you even calling this one here. Yeah, this was the 1 minute play. This was a 1 minute play. I think the thing with this one, the thing that made me a bit unsure was because I think the break was here. This was the break right over here. I think the break should have been by 32.99, just the way it even reacted. But because I think what we saw is like a bit of profit taking. It's some TP marks here, about like 10 pips. We got some profit taking down over here, and then it continued to move up bullish. Yeah, I think, you know, that's a good thing about trading with the trend. So like, even when you do have that drawdown, at least you have like a better chance of surviving this. Surviving the drawdown. Man, it was insane. This candlestick here was bearish. This candle was all the way down over here bearish in the last second. In the last minute, it just reflipped, closed bullish. You know, I think there's a lot more confluence here. We also got Ricardo's 200 EMA there, which was nice. Definitely was a rush. Definitely was a rushed trade, but I felt good about the trend. You know, right now the daily time frame is up 0.80%. You know, even though we've been moving bearish yesterday because we didn't get any rate cuts from yesterday's FOMC meeting, because price is now in a corrective phase, you know, I think then it's just going to keep moving up. I don't know if we're going to move down today. I think for sells, it would be safer if we can come below like maybe 0.30% would be nice. At least during this time, the London session. If we can get price come down here by the 0.30%, at least show us some selling volume coming in. But right now, definitely if we're looking at the daily bias, the daily bias is obviously still bullish. We're still moving up here. Yeah. Now we gotta wait and see what happens. And another reason why I took this buys a bit earlier than waiting for a swing entry model is because the way we're approaching London session here, I feel like price had moved up so much. I mean, it could still play out, but I feel like price had moved up so much already. If I was gonna get a buy, I would really prefer to get like a nicer stop loss instead of waiting longer. Gold filled the daily accumulation range, so now it's headed for all-time highs. No, not yet. I mean, you know, we do have the September FOMC event, which they're gonna keep the rates the same. And in October, that's when we should be getting rate cuts. That's when I think at least we should be getting rate cuts. Would it still be valid for an entry? What, this whole zone? Well, I have seen price retest these entries quite a bit and then still move up. So for me, it's always like, as long as we don't break these lows, then the trade is going to be still valid. Because, you know, the way I think about markets, I think from a very objective point of view. You know, very objective point of view, because risk management is discretionary, correct? So some people take profits here, some people wait for a bit longer, so they have to deal with more retracements downwards. For me, it only makes more sense that price is moving up here until we at least break below this support, because there's a reason why we put our stop loss here. Pushed up about, what, 9 pips, retested. Okay, explain the trade logic and entry model. This is just an accumulation breakout here. We also got Luke pointed out. So we're looking at price accumulating orders in line with the daily trend to continue moving up. Oh, but you got to sell too. What is this? Oh, you're talking about this accumulation. Ah, nice. Yeah, we still got sellers make some money over here. So you caught this sell and then there was a buy inverted. Nice little confluence, I guess for the buys too. Because normally, like, if you're in a sell like this and you notice price struggling to move down, oh, beautiful little fake out confluence too there. Break of the low, stop loss here. Nice little distribution. And then you got like that kind of reversal pattern over here. So we're kind of like taking you out. We're taking out the sellers. You see how we took you out here, Luke? So we're just taking you out. So we got reversal confluence here. Just gotta take you out a bit. But you know, if you're looking at now your psychology against now the buyer's psychology, it's like obviously the buyer is gonna feel more confident. At least as of now, they have that little break and retest zone over here. They're trading with the daily trend. We're up 0.80%. So it's like these positions like short-lived. I feel like these are more short-lived, and this has a higher chance of becoming a runner. I didn't take it as I did not want to. Oh, you didn't want to counter move. Yeah, so these guys would have a higher chance of having this run for them. Whereas the sellers still need to take over some structure over here. You know, we still need to break below at least like 32.97-ish, 0.75. Oh, you see this? See this, Ryan? This is what I mean. You see, the trade is still valid here. Risk management is discretionary. The market doesn't necessarily know risk to reward. If it's going to move in that direction, it's going to move in that direction. You know, between it moving from, let's say if the market wants to move like all the way up over here, it's just going to play with emotions because it knows people are managing, break even, securing profits. So it's going to make it a bit difficult. But if it's going to move here, it's going to move here. As long as it respects at least structure, that's what we're anticipating. That it needs to respect at least to move up. Can you look at copper chart and tell what you think? I think you gotta send in a chart. You gotta send copper chart into Discord over here. I never look at copper. But you can send your trade idea and we can give you some perspective. Sell on gold again, reach resistance and aim for retracement. Out in the last push candle, secure 30 pips roughly. Oh, nice. Oh, you got the sell. So Derek took the sell here. He took it based off, I think, a swing entry model. But that was also a consolidation play. You could have had tighter stop loss here, but this is also valid. You know, got a little fake out confluence. Break of the lows, clean range on the left-hand side. Price push down like 30 pips. Nice. HTF play, BUU took the sell on the LTF and worked out. Bounced back from the 30-minute resistance level to retest before it continues its upward movement. Got some resistance here. Ooh, you also caught the sells. You also caught pre-London open sells. Nice. Got some W's over here. Nice swing on gold to end the month in blues. Yeah, I think this is awesome. Awesome way to end the month. Little swing entry, break of accumulation over here on the HTF. Did even a small little break and retest of that zone on that wick. Then rebroke the wick highs. Then the continuation came in. Once it rebroke the wick highs, yeah, definitely bullish here today. I think people are looking more for sells because of what happened yesterday. Oh, and like the swing entry model here is still playing out. It also put the swing entry model there in some drawdown before playing out. Nice. Want to see it head up towards like 3303.50-ish. Yeah, we haven't seen any sellers here today. Look at the way price has been moving up. There's no sellers here. These are all buyers. But this was like, I would say this was a clean sell though. At least you had like a little fakey confluence here. That's like a little short-term, nice little short-term clean sell-off. Ooh, nice. Now I think we're getting some levels being hit on the swing entry. Yeah, we just got the 65% level over here. Approaching that 65% level by 3303.24. Awesome. Damn, I'm still in the trade. Looking good. What are you planning on securing, sir? Ooh, holy. 5-minute candle running. You must secure something, Ryan. You must secure something. Up like what, 40 pips now. You must secure something. I moved to BE. I want to hold it to the 4-hour high. Oh, I don't know about that, but you know, you can secure something now. You got the SMA here. You got SMA. We need to get through that SMA. I mean, all in all, good trade, you know. All in all, good trade. Only 0.5%. Nice. Yeah, all in all, good trade. You know, end of the month over here. Maybe you can just like say it's an end of the month thing. You know, end of the month anticipation here. As you know, we just need to get through this level. I think we just tapped like 4-hour SMA and some kind of like resistance that we need to get through. You know, the thing about London is beautiful. We are actually moving. The daily is moving, but let's see if London actually accumulates or whether it just follows through. You know, for me with the London session, I've been very cautious with the London sessions. But today, at least there's volume. You know, at least today we're moving up though. We just have like resistance here and a support over here. So this whole area is like about 69, you know, like 70 pips. Being nice for us today. I am banned from commenting. I can't see my comment. No, you're not banned. Otherwise, I would not be able to read that comment. Didn't copper get like huge tariffs from Trump recently? See, gold demand rose in second quarter on continued ETF inflows. Got fueled by persistent inflows into gold exchange traded fund, according to the industry body report. See, total gold demand for 3 months. Inflows were driven by uncertain global trade policy, geopolitical turbulence, inflationary pressure, concerns, and rising gold price. See, safe haven demand helped propel continuous gold futures prices to an all-time record high on April 22nd. Oh, that was before 3,500 a troy ounce. So let me see what else we got here. Asian stocks slide on weaker China data. Yen firms after Bank of Japan decision. Did anything happen? I don't think there was no tsunamis really that happened. Like crazy tsunami that happened yesterday. That was wild. That was crazy. I think they said it's because the tectonic plates or something like that, it didn't break necessarily, it just moved. Usually when it breaks or something, it creates that turbulence. I don't know, I could be wrong. But we didn't see any follow-throughs from that Fibonacci retracement yesterday. Oh, actually, we didn't even get a Fibonacci retracement. I don't think we did. So many people got sells. Am I wrong for not taking the sells today? I thought the counter move today was not a good plan. Yeah, I think like, you know, buyers and sellers in the market make money. You know, it's just all about like, would you be comfortable taking that loss? That's all you got to ask yourself is if you know price is moving up, are you okay with taking that loss? You know, so I think either way, like the sells were valid. They were valid, but I think the buys were like more a smarter move to wait for. I think this hit about, let's see how far this pushed. Yeah, just through that 65% mark. That's another setup here, profit taking from another setup. So you see how that profit taking works in the market, especially from different levels. From here, profit taking. From here, profit taking. From the swing entry model, break-even stages, profit taking. So I think like that's what I mean. Like as long as you're not greedy, at least you can secure something. You see how the sellers here, profit taking. That's just the thing about the market. And then sometimes you have the trades which just run in your favor, which just continue going in your favor. But for me, of late, I haven't seen the London session do that. That's why I think like the pre-New York times have been the ones which are giving the real nice bumpercluts.
Bumbucker!
Hi, where can I study your entry models? You can study them in the group. I'll post you a link over here. Just give me a second here. Yeah, these are the videos we have. Got a ton of simulations over here. So this is simulations. You got a ton of simulations. Some price action insights. Man, there's a lot of content to get through here. And you know, the good thing is like it's not like a course which just stays the same. It's always adapting because you know you have to adapt to the market. So as the market is shifting, you also have to show how to adapt in the market. Let's see over here. Yeah, but we must do a simulation though. We should do another simulation this Sunday. Yeah, we're gonna do one this Sunday. Oh, that was the one we did. See this one. Yeah, you can check it out. You can check it out. Who's keeping the lemmings in check? We're gonna play this range for a while. Just coming retesting. Man, crazy. What the hell is this? It just retested this area here by 32.99. Look at that little baby retest to skyrocket back up again. Yeah, I think it's still bullish, you know. It's still bullish as long as we're above 32.97 over there. So you see, you kind of never really miss a move, correct? Like, it's retested this zone so many times. And we're just holding resistance over here, and you got like a support level. So we're just gonna end up consolidating into pre-New York. Possibly that might be the case over here, and then we start breaking a bit later on. Vic, can I ask you a favor? Can you leave some pips for the rest of us? No, we have to kill markets. We have to destroy the markets here. This is end of the month, sir. Now the markets can chill. There's gonna be so many more pips to catch next month. So many more opportunities. So, you know, that's the thing. That's the thing. As long as the markets are moving, guys, there's always opportunity. There's always opportunity over here. You know, this month, July, it's actually a crazy month because we had to survive this whole gulag area over here to have volume start coming towards the end of the month. But you know, I think for the most part this month though, we had like a accumulation, breakout, little fakey, test of resistance. Then this is when it really started to open up here. So it's like from the 21st? 21st breakout. And then since we've been getting that 21st breakout, then price has just been moving. So into next month, I'm anticipating that the PA is going to even look a lot better because, you know, we're trading in this region now and we've moved away from this area. Correct? So, man, we're going to have a lot more room here for price to move coming into the new month. So, you know, lock in. I think, you know, price will be rejecting some support over here and then coming up towards like 34.40. Because if you look at the structure, overall structure, we are at the bottom of a range, right? We have support and we have resistance. And now this is a new kind of like playground. So yeah, I think what's going to happen is we're going to start moving up. We're going to create a support. And then only if we can break above 33.36 over here, then price can continue to move upwards. But we need to at least break above those highs, confirm some sort of momentum. Because as of right now, we're keeping the rates unchanged. And we also have the tariffs coming in on August 1st. That's going to be on Freaky Friday tomorrow. That's going to be non-farm payrolls also. So there's going to be a lot of volatility at the end of the week. And, you know, that can really change structure. You can see the weekly candlestick is still bearish here. Like, I would not be entirely surprised to see this thing just completely dump. You know, and then create like a much bigger range. A much bigger range for us to trade. Because as of right now, this is the consolidation. That's the sideways movement. But that could extend to somewhere down over here. Correct? So yeah, now we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait and see what happens for Freaky Friday. Freaky Friday is the day. Don't. When's the next Fed meeting? Next Fed meeting is... Oh, they haven't even reset this thing. Down my freaking neck. Oh. The next Fed meeting's in September, but I don't think they've given like a date yet, because it says 000, so there's no like time. They have like some more jobs data coming out. 2 more rounds of jobs data is supposed to be coming out to help navigate the September FOMC meeting. But it does, like I told you, like Powell is holding. He's gonna finish his term properly. He's not gonna rush anything because of Trump, you know. Like Trump cannot fire Powell. So Powell is gonna finish his term properly, like the way he's been doing it. He's not gonna give answers. You know, it's so funny when the reporters ask him these questions, as if he's gonna give them the answer they're looking for. You know, about lowering rate cuts. Now everybody was on Powell's case about these rate cuts. You know, Trump has made it a thing now. He's made it a thing now. It's also just annoying. You can see how annoyed Powell is by these questions because Trump has made it a thing. So when the reporters ask him about lowering interest rates, for Powell, it's like, man, these reporters that have no idea what they're even talking about. They're just jumping on some clout. You know, this beef between him and Trump. You know, so you can see him try to act a little bit politically correct, you know, say it properly and all. But deep down inside, I'm sure he's pretty much irritated because, you know, you gotta wait. You gotta wait for these jobs data and everything to come out. People don't understand this. And you know, if you give the people what they want, you're gonna give them the rate cuts and then they're gonna start complaining. So it's like, man, if you don't do anything, people are gonna blame you. And if you do something, people are still gonna blame you. You know, because if he cuts the rates, look at the dollar right now. The DXY is not doing pretty well. And Trump is not being transparent on why he really wants his rates to go down. Yes, dollar is, we got like some increase over here today, but overall dollar, we're trading below 100. You know, rate cuts is going to bring this thing down towards, I believe, like that 92 area over there. But we're back inside a previous gulag from this area over here. So you can see little accumulation. Most of the time, the market is just 90% of the time accumulating. So you see over here, a little accumulation here, a little one distribution here. And we believe maybe we're going to get a corrective phase back into this range. And then that becomes like a consolidation reversal pattern. Like the buy we just took here on gold on the 1 minute time frame. It's pretty much the same thing, but inverted. So if you come on here, invert the scale, it's like the same thing or the same concept. You know, like trading is all about context. If you don't understand the context, then you wouldn't be able to be flexible enough to trade the different types of structure that forms. Because the market is not always going to be a one-to-one. You know, whatever you see in a textbook, it's not always just going to be a one-to-one. So it's always understanding the context. So if you look at this over here, this is gold, the accumulation, break. This is a reversal pattern right over here to continue to move up bullish. Right? It's like the same thing that's happening here on DXY if you invert the scale. So, you know, markets trading is all about understanding the context. So you even see like here, it's not the prettiest. This is a bit cleaner because it's much bigger. But this one is not as big, but it's like the same thing. What's going on here? Did I? Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, this thing is swinging. This thing is swinging. Man, it retested entries again. Holy! How many times has it hit TP over here? 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 4 times TP has been hit. As we're just ranging in here. Start a challenge, 1,000 to 10,000. Oh, what's that? 10,000 or 100,000? No, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. Challenges are only for people. Maybe if I want to sell more courses, if I want to sell more something, then I can do a challenge for YouTube. But you know, that takes a lot of time away from my own trading. So it doesn't make sense. I make more money from trading than I make from selling courses. You know, unless I have ICT subscribers. You know, ICT could make $1 million this week if he wanted to. You know, he doesn't need to trade by selling his courses. But I can't do that, you know, so it doesn't make sense for me. I'm going to make way more money trading. When's the next Fed meeting? Oh yeah, we answered that. My broker decided to close down, so I have to find a new one. Yeah, what broker is that? Crazy. I don't like buying gold because we are now on discounted zone at 3310. Has H4FVG. Yeah, I mean, like, this is this thing over here. This 4-hour SMA is what's making it difficult for price to move up. You also got some kind of hourly resistance, but you know, there's so much clean range there. This is from yesterday's New York session sell-off. There's about you got about, you know, 260 pips here. Let's see, daily candlestick. Can we see at least 1% on this daily? We could make that resistance. It is a realistic target here for the daily to come up towards like this area over here. So I think that's what people might be looking at to see if price can at least break above 3301 and respect this area. So if we can break above the zone and respect this zone, then I think, you know, price can move up there. Yeah, then price can move up. Right now, man, markets are consolidating here. Typical London. It's accumulating, it's getting ready. Like if price wants to continue to move bullish, it needs to accumulate here. Beautiful little kiss of death on there. On that 8 SMA. Yesterday, my 3362 hit my TP. 3285. Oh, nice. You should send in a chart over here. Send in a chart to Discord. There's a HTF play, but I did take my sell on the LTF. Ooh, yeah, I think... Man, I think people are really looking for this. Oh, price is running up here. Yeah, I think people are really looking for this correction on yesterday's sell-off. See, 15 minutes starting to break. Okay, let's see 30 minute. I think anything above the 30 and above looks really nice. What's up with GJ? GJ's moving. What's GJ doing? 0.20% on the daily. But GJ is kind of it is bullish. GJ is bullish here. See that daily. Yeah, GJ looks like it might be a small... Oh, lead. Now gold is moving up. Sheesh.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Man, congratulations to anybody who is still holding this little trade here. Man, exactly. This is exactly why I'm bullish here today. I am bullish until further notice, you know, unless we can break. Oh my days. Oh my days. It took a really long time to move up though. I'm pretty sure it shook a lot of traders out who might have wanted to manage a bit, you know, as price was moving into profits. They would be managing their trades, possibly like getting out break even and that sort of thing. So, man, crazy move over here. Just skyrocket above like 100 pips. 100 pips. Now we're looking here on the left hand side, anticipating that the daily can fill this area. You know, that's going to be a 500 and something pips in total for that daily. So it's very possible that price continues to move up like that. Very possible. I think, honestly, there was also another sell here during the Asia session. Little swing entry model for a sell. Maybe like a shotgun play. But the sells definitely are a bit more short-lived. So you got one potential sell here. You got one potential sell here. Damn. My alert just triggered for gold, but no bottom wick, so I didn't get in. Screw the bottom wick. We have volume here. You know, when I take my trades off the 1 minute plays, I don't care if there's a bottom wick. Because, you know, like when you take a trade like that, you're expecting like a price to push up. Because there's like some volume anticipation. So sometimes it doesn't create the bottom wick, you know. It is nice to have it though. Wissam, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Let's see over here. Alright, so you got to sell. This was a sell on gold. 33.62. Stop just above this region. Come down towards 32.72. Oh, you got some additional entries here, maybe OB and FVG. When was this taken? This is what on the this is the 4-hour time frame. Holy. You've been holding this trade here since this region. Let's see, let's clean up the zones. Yeah, since all the way up over here. What is that on the daily? All right, so yeah, you got a nice room. That was a nice room to move. You got even the daily 8 SMA here in your favor in Confluence. Daily create a bottom wick right below that 8 SMA as well. Some clean range to keep moving down here too. And also the overall market was moving bearish. So you got previous daily candles were bearish, rejecting off resistance. And I guess, you know, in line with the fundamentals, since we're not expecting much from gold in regarding rate decisions. So I think, you know, in line with this entry and then waiting for that FOMC statement, pretty nice trade. Because with the FOMC statement, there's a high probability Powell is not going to change the rates. And that meant that gold should have actually moved down. That's why yesterday I was looking at sells. Remember yesterday, chat, I said I'm more bearish. So yesterday we had a 33.33. So that was a zone that we had that last accumulation play that I said I'm just anticipating a spike above 33.33 and then price to melt over. So that's, you know, that's what we got over here. That's what we happened. 33.33 was respected. Nice little psychological mark. And then price just tumbled here. You know? And then price just sold off. This was actually a really nice little accumulation break. Could have been at the bottom of those lows. Could have been even here. You got a couple of areas to have gotten in. I actually low-key feel bad I didn't trade the pre-NY yesterday because I think the directional bias was there. for a sell-off. Especially here, man. Could have caught like a real bomber clot on this. Maybe just even extend the stop loss a bit more. Because we knew what was happening for the FOMC. This would have been a solid play. With a macro direction. Oh man, that would have been good. That would have been really good. Today's price fly, is it because Psychology 2 since tomorrow announced tariffs? Impact on to Psycho. Yeah, I think price is flying here as a correction. A correction move to the upside. That's what I think it's doing. Because we already had such a big sell-off yesterday. And the daily might just be creating that a daily support. Like, you know, the market doesn't make so much sense because, you know, we did have the tariffs. The tariffs should actually make price come down because it's an agreement that they came to an agreement. And I think it's a fair agreement. I'm not sure exactly, but everything is pointing to gold moving down. That's a funny thing. And I'm looking for buys today. But, you know, it's like, that's PA for you. You know, if price action is doing one thing and it's not lining up with what you're hearing fundamentally, how we should just keep moving down, then just trade what the PA is doing. Because, you know, there might be these smart money concepts at play that you don't know what's really happening. And you can't always know exactly what's happening, you know. So if price is moving up and you see there's a lot of volume, doesn't matter how you feel about what the economy should do, just trade what the market is doing. Because, you know, we're not in this game to be right. We're not here to be right. We're here to make money. So why would you sell when markets are moving up so aggressively? Even though you have all the fundamentals that say it should move down. It could be very risky. You're okay to miss a trade with the bottom wick, especially as it was a 15 candle open. If it's 5 and 15 is already open, I'm okay. Oh, okay, nice. As long as you got your rules. You're selling now. Let's sell gold now. Godspeed. Avik, today's TFX Concepts Day. I got 2 sells, counter trend, all pretty well. I took on Asian session. Yeah, nice. Yeah, that Asian session one was good. There was this one right here, and then there was that Asian session one. I think the Asian session one was the best. See how much of this range it filled. Nice little push there. It dumped about, you know, like 36 pips. Yeah, so the swing entries have been playing out nicely there. Of course, those are counter trends. Also got some buys. Man, if you took the buys, a lot of the structure has been respected on the buys. You know, these higher lows which are being formed, a lot of that structure has been respected. And then you had like one more breakout situation that happened here. So it's a breakout and they came retested. So again, it's like you never really miss a move. Because look at this, you can miss this breakout on paper because the breakout already happened. And then price came back in, got my entries, shot up, and then retested the zone like 4 more times and continue to move up bullish. But yeah, previous lows still being respected. So that's why I was really happy to see this 5-minute candle secure close bullish, creating that little support for us, little break and retest to move upwards. And now it's got a clean range. You know, it's got all this clean traffic here to keep moving. Might see price head over to 1%. Yeah, oh, I think we already hit 1%. Yeah, we're up 0.97%. 99. Here comes 1%. We definitely already hit 1% on the daily. I think like 1.10%. Y'all gonna miss a sell? Well, if you catch the sell, then you're catching a very nice sell. This price is moving up. How many fair value gaps here have been destroyed? You know, because of how price is moving. Bullish. You could have chosen the bullish fair value gaps. Let's see, what is this? You got a 117%. Oh, nice. Very well done on the month. Yesterday 1.9. Got the week here. Awesome. Man, that's like, even if you look at the profits here, 29 bucks, 140, 120, 190, and it still adds up, you know, towards the end of the month, all the profit there adds. Got like almost 4K over here. And then you're gonna compound this. Now imagine compounding this and then making double next month at 8,000. And then just keep doing that. Man, awesome. Breaking above 3308. Let's see how the hourly looks. Hourly's creating a nice little support here. Breaking above that 4-hour SMA. I haven't seen gold hit 1% in a minute. Like during this time. Most of the time, London is just consolidating. So this is quite interesting. I think a lot of people are looking for sells because of yesterday. So they're kind of looking at this bearish move here, anticipating a sell to come at any moment. So to have like a bearish continuation, correct? That's probably what they're thinking. I mean, which is not bad. And which I could see happen maybe pre-New York session time if we start creating new lower lows. But right now we're still creating higher highs. See, price is coming down. See if it can actually respect this area here. If it dips back into the range, then that becomes like a little bit of a fakey. You can have fakey situation back into the range. But you see, we had a previous accumulation. And we've just taken it a step up a bit. So from this area, we're a little bit up here now. But it seems like this one is pulling down. Yeah, ooh, that looks like it's pulling down heavy. This is a nice little break and retest here. It didn't pull down heavy. It respected beautifully and then moved up. This one looks like it might pull down heavy, but let's see. We're retesting that SMA. Man, it could be just coming back into the gulag. It could be coming back here into the gulag to keep accumulating orders. So it can either move upwards or downwards for pre-New York. Sales yesterday was... sales was yesterday. Today's today. Yes. Yeah, in a situation like this, today is today. Because at least today we have momentum. You know? But let's say... Okay, so let's say if the day started here in London... If this was a London session here, then I would be looking for sell continuations. You know, then I think it would make sense that price can continue to move down like this. But, you know, since we didn't have a situation like this, I think today's today. Bought at 0.6 again. Stops at 0.4. Today is the day. Interesting. 0 hours, 0 minutes, 0 seconds. We got core PCE index today, so we're expecting good numbers. Kind of neutral, but good numbers. Neutral, but good. Neutral, but good. Core PCE. Then we have unemployment claims. We're expecting an increase here. 217 to 222K. So expecting... Oh, wow. Look at the streak. We had a streak of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good. You know, jobs data has been coming out beautifully. Yeah, so much good news for jobs data over here. So everyone's like, Powell, can we bring the rates down already? Because if you compare it to what it was previously, we had a lot of neutral numbers, neutral. So now it's coming up quite nicely over there. But I think October is going to be the one. But let's see how the next jobs data comes out. Got a streak 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we get the next 2 unemployment claims come out bullish, like in positive, we should see a September rate cut. At that point, I'm also going to be like, what's up with Powell? Why are you taking so long? Because, you know, at least now we're going to get the tariffs. We're going to get the deadline with China. We're going to get the August 1st tariffs come in. So there's going to be a bit more perspective. So I think by September, the odds should be going up a bit here. So let's see what it says. September, it's still at 57% no change. So that's also not changed. I mean, that's also, they're keeping it at no change. So we're going to see how these numbers here come out. It's going to be quite important. Unemployment claims. Then we got the non-farm payroll tomorrow. The NFP. Thanks, man, for providing information and knowledge to new traders out there. Kudos. Thank you, Shiloh. Appreciate it. I caught a 1-7 RR yesterday and passed my second funded challenge. Wow, nice. Oh, your second funded account. Awesome, man. Yeah, let's go back on gold. It's doing a small little break and retest based off the candle closure. So the retracement in was deep. It was a deep retracement, but candlestick still respected 3304 over there. See if it's doing another break and retest. Man, how classic would this be? Like just a clean break and retest play. Here, consolidation, break above, retest, consolidation, break above, retest, and then just keep moving up. But it's usually days like this, you look back in hindsight and say to yourself, like, damn, what was I? You know, why was the market look so obvious here? But it always looks obvious in hindsight. Never looks obvious when you're doing it, correct? I do have many confirmations on this sell. First, H4, FEG, and H1, H4. We're already at a discounted price. Oh, you got a discount here. At H1 liquidity sweep. Last year, we're still below 200. Oh, so this is... You're looking for a sell over here. Maybe you're gonna get more discounted. Maybe this is the first sell, and then there's gonna be a discount again when price moves up. You gotta get another one up here. But question is, where, even if you take a sell, you know, this is really good. This is really good. Price has somewhat moved somewhere. So I would say that the buyers still have a chance of having a running position as opposed to the sellers, just based off what we're seeing, you know, not what we feel. If you catch a sell, then you know that's amazing. That's amazing. And then, you know, you can post that on Instagram and everyone's going to be like, how did he know? How did he know that was going to be the daily highs? But if you're trading with what you see, then you're going to see that price is moving up here. So if you take a buy, let's say even if you take a buy like this and then price moves up, then you know that also makes sense because the overall direction is bullish. But yeah, we're going to wait and see about those sells. Still creating new higher highs now. But you know, I think sellers and buyers, they both make money as long as they're not being too greedy. I like closes above then breaking the wick on gold now. Oh yeah, this break above highs. Let's see, this is on the 50 minutes close, 30-minute hourly close. Yeah, hourly close above resistance. A pretty big hourly candlestick closure too. I think pushed like 100 pips close above resistance. So you'd be anticipating a break of the highs to keep moving up. Yeah, we got like some small little structures here on the left-hand side on the 15-minute. See how we're just respecting that zone? A little bit of 15-minute resistance. Yeah, crazy. Crazy week. Very crazy week. I took a buy as well, but stuck in the console in pre-London. Oh, this one. Yeah, price was moving since the pre-London time, was consolidating the whole pre-London and then started moving up over here. This is when I got my buys. Price started moving up when I got my buys. So actually, let me see what happened over here. This is actually quite funny. Wait, let's see where my buy was. I actually got slipped on this entry, you know. I got my buy a bit later. I think my buy came in like somewhere around here. Yeah, I took my buy and then I looked at my terminal and I was like, what is this? This is not the price I wanted. But you know, there was so much volume that came in, so it was pretty nice, you know. Price just kept moving up there. And it came down to retest. Break and retest area over here. It retested the zone 1 last time, rebreak of the highs, and then moved up again with volume. Yeah, so if you came in like early pre-London time, then you would have been caught in some... You could have caught in like some nice buys here though. There's a nice buy at the top of the range. I'm sure there's a setup here. Let's see this little swing entry. Maybe a swing entry, maybe a consolidation break here. And then there was one consolidation that happened down over here. I could have gotten a better entry too, but I just basically missed the move. Again, I was on the chart just a little bit too late. Oh, man. Man, look at this break and retest here again. We just keep moving up today. Holy. That's what I mean. You're going to look back at this day and it's going to be like a very obvious day. You're going to wonder, why did I not get any buys today? You know, so now we're up 1%, 1.05% on the daily. Nice little break and retest here, break and retest here. Loads of room to keep moving up bullish. Candlestick opened with no bottom wick over here. It's just pushing, you know, because there's so much volume in the market that it can't even sometimes create these wicks. But you got 1 minute 30 for candlestick here to close. About to re-break those hourly highs. You see what I mean? Don't be a hero. Because you know that discounted price, you might get even a bigger discounted price. You'll be slapped with, oh, you know, this is a discount, 50% sale. You'll be slapped with a 50% sale over here. And then maybe market can slap you with a clearing store sale. You know, it's gonna move up again. Now that's the thing about counter trends. It's like when you're counter trending, don't be greedy. Just get whatever you get from the move, but there's a higher probability the buyers are having their runners today, not the sellers. Hit BE, but I got 50% out. It's all good. Nice. Yeah, at least you secured something. It's okay to counter trend. It's okay to counter trend. I counter trend all the time, you know, but what's not okay is to be delusional about potential of a move, especially just due to what we've been seeing the London do. You know, the London session is either just consolidating, or at least today we have some follow through. It continues with the daily trend because we're really bullish. But what we've been seeing, pre-New York has been following through a lot. So even if you take a counter trend during the pre-New York time, you're going to still have an edge. You know, that's what we call like a little bit of an edge that price can continue moving down in your favor. So I think like timing is very important in the market. Like just understanding how your instrument's been moving at these specific times. About time London wakes up end of the month. Exactly. Like this whole month, I don't know how many times we've seen London above like 0.50%. even, you know. It's usually hovering 0.30%, 20%, and then it just consolidates to pre-New York. It's about time. It's about time. Because you know the monthly candlestick here is closing. We're getting monthly candle volume. Look at how nasty these monthly candlesticks look. Got a bunch of wicks over here. A lot of doji, a lot of indecision, a lot of like uncertainty. You see? Look at this uncertainty in the market. Basically what a doji candlestick means. When you got long wicks and a small candlestick body. So you got a bunch of uncertainty here. Which is also a nice confluence for consolidation breakouts. Because either it breaks above the highs or the lows, ideally picking the direction. Breaks above here, picks the direction bullish, or below here, bearish. But as you can see, for the most part, Goldie has been holding still as we're waiting for Mr. Powell here to reduce the rates. I think that's what the main thing is that price is waiting for. So for the previous 2 months, 3 months, we've just been moving sideways. Most likely this candlestick is going to close like that too. Man, I feel like gold just wants to continue moving up though. You know, it doesn't want to come down. Like even if you see the way we've been consolidating here, it's like holding itself because it looks like it wants to move up. Break above 3,500. Because we're not getting enough sellers. Like why are people, you got to ask yourself, why are people not selling gold for this long? You know, people are still holding. They're still holding. Unless you start seeing monthly candlesticks come down like this. So there's quite an overall bullish sort of a sentiment here in the market overall. Look at that. And with the monthly candlestick about to close, then you're gonna get freaky Thursday here today. So this is basically Freaky Thursday, and tomorrow we're gonna get Freaky Friday. Because monthly candlestick is closing, we're expecting volume to come in, you know. We're already up like 1% on the day. There's the same thing like on Freaky Friday when the weekly candle is closing. We're expecting some kind of pullbacks off the HDF. I barely up 0.30% on a good London session recently. Yes. London, you've got to be very not greedy with London. Like just take what the market gives you. But this is a nice hold. Got dubs here too. Very long hold. I would trade like this if I was risking maybe like, you know, 10% per trade. Or a little bit more. No, I think 10% is good. It's a pretty good risk reward. That's like 1 or 2 trades a month. I think. Or maybe 5. I don't know. I'm still interested for sell though. Yeah, you gotta wait for structure at least to build. You know, the good thing about these previous sells here, at least they had some structure for them whilst price was coming down. But right now you just have bullish candles. Let's see what our currency strength meter is saying. Weak dollar, bullish gold makes sense. Bullish pound and weak yen. Pound is kind of bullish, 0. I think 20%. Yeah, nice. But it's kind of weird. I think the DXY is bullish though. It's showing a weak dollar. But let's go on DXY. I think the DXY here, the daily candlestick was... Oh, no, actually, it is bearish. Okay. I think I was looking at the higher ones. I think I was looking at the monthly. Yeah, I was looking at the monthly. Okay, so we got DXY. It is bearish. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I had a push yesterday, though. It moved upwards and then gold moved downwards. So really nice negative correlation there. Now it's moving down and gold is moving up. Dollars down, silver dumping. Compete. Imagine a 1% liquidity grab. It is 1%, exactly on 1% here. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. You know, we never see price go like 2%. Maybe we're gonna go 2% when we have those rate cuts. Hopefully if we get a 50 basis point cut. Surprisingly, we didn't get sells today. You know, when I woke up this morning, I was actually expecting some sells on gold. Then I saw like prices up 0.60% pre-London time. I was like, wow, this is a bias. It's gonna be a bullish day. Because you know, for price to move from 1% back to negative is impossible. It's very, not impossible, but it's very difficult. That price we're gonna see, we need to at least see 0.30%, get some weakness in. Maybe 45, 40%, 40, 30. Jeez, I think price can go up to, if we fill that range on the daily, that could be like what, 1.50% here, up towards like 33.22 2ish area. But we're pretty high right now. This London Open, you see, that's why I love the early sessions, chat. Like I don't know about New York time. I guess New York time has its own vibe, but man, you get the Asia session moves, you get the pre-London moves. Even coming into London, you're already late. You've missed majority of the move. Most time you're coming to trade London session. So I don't know like how the New York people do it. I think the New York session is more for counter trends. They're looking more for retracements, like pullbacks and everything, because the real moves usually happen in the earlier sessions. Then New York, I mean, you got some days obviously where you have fundamentals coming out during the New York time, and those are a little special too, because you know, like price will just consolidate whenever we have news coming out. Typically we're gonna get like, you know, Asia, London consolidate, and the closer we're getting to news, I think this was also due to the ADP. Yeah, the closer we're getting to news, that's when you start to see price move, because there's risk off in the market. But if you're planning on trading like a macro driven move, most of the time you're going to be way too late to the party by the time you're trading New York time, because people are already getting stuck in based off yesterday's news. Just got triggered in gold. All right, Godspeed. Definitely still on the right side of the market. Are you going to trade Friday? I think so. I think I'm going to trade Friday. Ooh, look at this. You see? Very well done. Very well done. I don't know how much you're up. I think you're up right now, Joshua, about like what, 28 pips, 30 pips? See, you're still on the right side of the market. Don't sell. I don't get why people love to sell when price is moving up like this. Because you see, now you've been slapped with another discount. Now the market is saying, oh, we got some new products here. We need to clear the shelf. So let's give everybody another discount. Don't sell gold. Gold is clearly moving up. You know, if you want to be a hero, then do it smartly. Just scalp the sells. Like this is something Ricardo could sell. For example, like a quick sell. If it's looking for candles to go up very aggressively and then tap into some kind of I think SMA or something. But right now, you know, price is moving up. Imagine you held this trade here. You'd be up 140 pips. You know, that's the thing about holding trades as well. You're going to feel a lot more confident when you know you're holding a trade in line with the market. You're not going to feel confident holding against the trend. So, you know, this is something that you can look at and say, next time I plan on holding a trade, look if the daily candlestick is trending. and see if you're just on the right side of the market, so that you don't give yourself analysis paralysis. Analysis paralysis will come if you're looking at all of this stuff right over here where price is moving up. So you got analysis for selling pressure and you got paralysis for buying pressure. They want to shake us off holding. Shake who off? Sellers or buyers? Who's getting shaked off here? Trying to shake off buyers, probably. You got some resistance on the left-hand side. 5-minute resistance. Once you get through the 5-minute resistance, clean range again, all the way up here towards 33.24. That's the only lower time frame resistance zone. The other time frames look clean. Yeah, the buyers have been shaken out here. The buyers have been trying to get shaken out. You're married, so no one's shaking you off? I would say what psychological marks do we have? 33.20. Ooh, can we go back to 33.33? That's about... Man, that's about 200 pips away. Holy, this is freaky. This is Freaky Thursday, guys. This is Freaky Thursday. Now, what's going to happen for Friday? But the week ends here. No, the week ends. This weekly candlestick ends. Oh, yeah, of course. It ends tomorrow. But the monthly is ending today. Monthly is ending today. Weekly is ending tomorrow. Can you break down your trade? Yeah, it was just like a trend because we're moving bullish. Oh man, you gotta rewatch. You gotta rewatch. We spoke about reversal pattern over here. Got a little reversal pattern for price to move upwards. We got a break and retest area over here. Stop loss below structure. Break of the highs, confirming momentum off the consolidation break. And majority of it is driven by where price is heading to. Unusual seeing this the days when you don't expect it. Well, it is the end of the month, so, and we did have FOMC statement yesterday. One hour FEG at 33.15.98, so expect a consolidation at 5-minute. What's that? Let's see. 33.15. All right, so let's see. 33.15.98. 0.98. All right. You know, there have been so many of these FEGs which have become no VGs, you know, as price has been moving up like this. Imagine the amount of ones which have been down over here. Like, you keep selling into an FEG. Look at this. How many? I don't even know how you draw these FEGs, but I'm pretty sure if you go on the lower time frames, you're always making a case for why there should be some kind of FEG here, correct? I'm not sure how you trade FEGs, but I'm pretty sure you can always find something here. If you're finding something here too. And price has just been moving up. Man, so you know, it's like... It only works when you know what's driving... Like when you get the fundamentals correct, I think then you can get the other ones. These other ones maybe for bullish ones that come in somewhere around here. I think most of the time, you know, like when the market neutralizes everybody, it does that by picking a direction. So it doesn't matter if you're trading FVG, trendline, Fibonacci, the market's gonna move. It's eventually gonna move. It's not moving based off of any of those things, you know. It gives two shits about anybody's analysis or trend lines. It's gonna move wherever it wants to move. You know, so I think trading, what trading is also is about really understanding or at least getting the side of the market correct. That's one thing, and then getting the proper stop loss. And at least getting an entry confirmation where if it breaks something, you're like, okay, this should move now, and get a stop loss where it's like, okay, since it's broken this end, it shouldn't re-break this end, so price should keep going now in the direction that you think. I think if you sum up trading, that's what it is. It's understanding just those three things. Entry, stop loss, direction. You want to really get the direction because the direction will determine the win or loss. So, or it could save you. The direction could save you in certain scenarios. By the way, I don't trade FEG, but this is one of my confirmation only. Nice. This week profit up until $250. Thank you so much, Vic. Welcome, Derek. Let's get it. Pretty good week over here. Yeah, I think like, man, if you see your setup, just execute. One thing about me is I don't like to waste time. If I see my setup, I'm going to execute. If I'm planning on trading today and the setup is there, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. It doesn't matter if it's happening in the first minute of London session. This actually happened exactly when London opened. I took my trade. We didn't even waste a single minute for this trade here today. You know, that's sometimes you got to execute. You got to get so good that it's like tying your shoelace. You know, whenever you see a move, it's like tying your shoelace. When you come onto the charts, you can immediately see your setup. So you don't have to waste time. So your analysis needs to be that good. It needs to be that fast that the moment you see it, you execute. Simple. You know, sometimes pre-London trades are also like this. I just come onto the chart, I immediately see it, and then just take the buy or sell. But if you're spending way too much time doing all this analysis here, you know, then I think, I don't know, to each their own. But I think like understanding what you're looking for is powerful. When you know exactly what it is you're looking for, you have to be that good. You know, if somebody even calls me, let's say at 3 a.m. in the morning, asks me trading questions, you know, I'll just be like, just give me a minute. Let me just wake up a bit. And then I'll be like, okay, yeah, so this is this and this and this. Correct? So you have to be that good where you don't even have to plan anything. You know, like that. I think that's when you feel really confident about the skill that you're developing. And I think it just takes time, you know, takes time looking at charts, put in those 10,000 hours, and then you'll be ready. Like even on your worst day, you will be ready to execute. Even if you're feeling ill, maybe you feel like psychology is not 100% there, you're still going to have a very nice edge over majority of people. Can you please speak a bit in detail about day entry? Yeah, I think, you know, I think the reason why you're saying speak a bit in detail is because, you know, like as I say, like if you're going to join the mentorship, you have to lock in. You have to lock into these concepts, you know, because if you don't lock into these concepts, you're going to be needing someone to spoon feed you everything. And the reality is that usually when people teach you things, it's hard to teach psychology. You know, you can always teach like the structure and the reasons for trades, but you can never always teach the psychology aspect. So, you know, if you're not understanding the topic properly, there's a difference in the pace of learning. You know, if you compare yourself learning in school to someone who genuinely understands, it's like flows a bit better. But if you don't genuinely understand, you have to be like, okay, can you take me step by step? You know, and then you really think about every step that the guy is saying, you know, so that's the level that you're on right now. So I think it's really important to just lock in, tune in, and these concepts should just be free flowing because, you know, in trading, when you're still taking step by step and you want to be a scalper, it's sometimes very difficult because the market conditions are changing so quickly. Like sometimes even one single candle closing bearish can change your bullish bias into a bearish one. Correct? So you might be looking for buys and then you notice something doesn't happen and then you're going to be already immediately looking for the sells. So I think, you know, there's nothing new here today. There's nothing new. It's just the same old things I've been saying. It's just like I guess it's just the context part. So just keep tuning in. You know, it's all about repetition at the end of the day. So even the more you hear it, the more you're showing up onto the streams, it's just going to naturally... you're gonna start naturally understanding a little bit more without the step-by-step. I think now 3222.79 is price keeps moving strong bullish to get a good reversal. I still struggle to risk like 2% a trade. That's why I end over trading and have to work so much just for the 1 to 2% a day. Yeah, you struggle to risk 2% a trade because you take a lot of trades. That's why. Because you're taking, I think, like 4 trades a day on average, right? Maybe even more. Probably more. I've seen you like have 3 trades in like very close proximity. That's why you struggle with 2%. More like 8 to 10. Hey man, you think we're gonna dump today? No, I think today we're gonna move up. Hey Furkan, thank you for the sub, man. Appreciate it. I did many backtests on this, so I'm not scared to take this 1,000 of times and plus, only risking 0.5 to 1%. Nice. Yeah, if you've seen it happen over and over again, then you're gonna execute. You naturally execute. You don't even second guess yourself. You just take the position. You know, even this trade here, I think I had a later entry. To be honest, I think I got a later entry on this, but the trade still had legs to move. Because for my trades I'm expecting, even with a later entry, I'm still expecting price to move. You know, even I got this entry over here. I think my entry should have come just a little bit lower. But, you know, it is what it is. Got a bit of later entry, but I'm still expecting price to move. You know, just because I want to secure here doesn't mean that the market is saying, oh, TFX wants to secure here, that we should reverse here. You know, there's no secret sauce to it. You just have to be, the market is going to move. It's going to move. You just have to take what you want from the market. You see, like right here, look at this. Look what happened yesterday's sell. Yesterday's sell came, retested, entries, and then continued to move down. So, you know, there's an abundance of pips in the market. You know, this was a sell. You know, a lot of people think like, oh, why I don't hold these trades? I don't need to hold these trades. I know these trades move. Who am I trying to prove? I'm not trying to prove anyone anything. You know, as long as my bills are paid at the end of the month, I give 2 shits if I catch the whole move. But, you know, we share the value of how you can catch the moves at least. You know, so this was my sell. Made about $1,000 from this sell, and, you know, price continued to move down. It continued to move down towards these targets over here. You can watch the video live on my YouTube channel of this trade. But it's such a beautiful trade. You know, we had a lot of confluence. This was pre-New York. You know, this was pre-New York time. And this is pre-NY volume to come down to 33.16. And, you know, that's the thing. I think that's the awesome thing about trading the lower time frames. With the swing entry models like this, you're still gonna have a better chance of getting a runner if you're in line with the, mostly in line with the market. Because swing entry models kind of have a bigger stop loss. But man, look at the sniper exit over here. And then price started to move upwards. But man, on the lower time frames, see like swing entry models, they sometimes have like some small limitations, you know, based off of structure and direction. Can be a bit tricky, and timing. But you know, you can still make a good profit from them. But the 1 minute plays, man, the 1 minute plays, they just run. You know, this is why I love the lower time frames. Because if you're counter trending or trading with the trend, like you still get a pretty decent stop loss. An accumulation breakout, which has a lot of volume inside of them. Accumulation breakouts have loads of volume inside of them. This was also a little accumulation breakout that we took. This was the one we took, I think. We took this last week on stream, was this sell over here. Price was ranging and then started breaking out of the range. And now we got this one here today. Look at this. Still moving up here. Building good habits. Man, it would be very nice if we have the same reading today. I'm looking for a sell setup and you're looking for buy setup. Yes. Yeah, I think the sells are gonna come a little later on. Like if you can at least start to have some structure, create a new lower low like this. And the time right now is 4:35 a.m. Eastern. So you might start getting the sells now in the next 25 minutes, because the next 25 minutes I'm actually expecting volume to die out a bit. Like this buying pressure here, it's probably going to break into another sideways accumulation in the next 25 minutes. Something like this. Because now this is distribution. This is just paying people out. Correct? You got Mr. Woods over here. Leader of House Lemming has probably secured some profits as price moved up there about 50 pips. But now I think the distribution is, it's soon coming to an end for the next accumulation. And then maybe that's when you get your sell with structure. That's if you're not planning on becoming a John Wick. If you're a John Wick, then obviously you're looking for something more like this, right? But if you're waiting for structure, then you're going to get a later entry, but at least you're going to get some structure. And then you're going to get something maybe like that. Oh, you just closed 26 pips. Nice. Glad I found your channel, Vic. Really helped me with my trading journey. I appreciate it, Derek. I really like the fact that you also send in and put in the work here too. I see the chart work. Very nice. Swing model. It's a gold long position. Yeah, anyone who took gold logs today made money. Like I don't even think there was a shark in the water here. I do not think I saw a single shark come in. All you had to do was buy. But no, you said, I want to outsmart the market here. Was going to hold, but the 30 has pushed with no bottom wick. And I would rather take something now than let it come down and kill your position. I think it's a smart move. You're already up 1% here. Yeah, I might get like the price is accumulating for a bit on the 1 minute. Got a little 1 minute sideways movement. That's forming. Oh, you got the sell. You see, oh, nice. I took a small trade now in a sell. That's about $50. So made about $20 on that move. I think the timing aspect of it is also crucial, right? Because we're about to have this next hourly candlestick open up, which I think is like, usually I'm expecting it to be a bit slow. It can have moves, but I'm expecting at least this next hourly to be a bit slow. I see a mix of that accumulation with my strategy of knife catching as dono to try catch the knife on point of consolidation. Yeah, that's true. No bottom wick here on the 15. Secured around 138 pips on Discord. There's a real bumbleclot.
Bumbleclot!
Sheesh. So, oh, this is like, when was this? This was the same area over here where I think I got in as well. Slightly the same. Let's see. Mine was... Yours on the 5 minute, I think. Oh, it looks kind of similar. Very nice. Yeah, I think that area there made a lot of sense. There's a lot of confluence here. It's the same thing as... Remember yesterday's sell? How people could have been getting on that trend line break, but I would have gotten in on the accumulation. I think it was not for yesterday. It was one of these days here. That single trend line setup. It's basically the same idea behind something like this. Like people are going to find different reasons. Because look at this. Let me show you something. If you even draw a Fibonacci from here to here, that could have been a beautiful little Fibonacci retracement into the golden zone. As people use Fibonaccis to catch trending markets. See a little Fibonacci into the golden zone. The 50, look at this perfectly here. This is the default Fibonacci, so it looks a bit ugly. But this is the area over here, which is the 50 and the 618. golden zone, which beautifully lines up with that little break and retest area. Man, I love it when the fib lines up like this. This is the best time to ever use a Fibonacci, when it lines up with a break and retest of structure such as this. So very, oh man, and you got the 50 SMA confluence there too. Holy. This is a very nice little area over here. You know, and then I got my confluence as well. There's a lot of confluence within this zone. And then you can do what we call the drag in the bag. So you take it up here to the new high that's been formed, to where the support was, and you get this thing. It's called the drag and bag. So now you see this. Look at this Fibonacci golden zone. Again, see how the wick came right into it and then saw it pull up again, hitting extension levels. This is what we call the drag and bag. When price is just trending, you know, that's when you use a Fibonacci, not when price is in a consolidation, when it's just moving sideways. You're going to use it when price is trending. So you got one Fibonacci here to the new high that was formed. Right over here. Right into the 50 golden zone area. So usually when you're drawing a fib, you're drawing fib from where the push started to where the retracement. So this is where the push started. You can see with this candles, it started pushing, and that's where the retracement started to come into the golden zone. It probably looks a lot cleaner on the different time frames. On the 5-minute, I can still see it, but these could be like even 50-minute fib plays. You know, if they look like a little bit cleaner. Like for this one, for example, I think this is like a 15-minute fib play. So that'll look a little bit cleaner there on the 15, because you get like less candlesticks. So you see this? Push from here to retracement, drag and bag. And price has still been moving up. Price is still moving up over here. I'm expecting NY to be violent today. I'm now in my phase 2 of my funded challenge, and I'm so happy that I passed phase 1 with my own strategy after hours and hours of backtesting, and it really pays off. Like, congratulations. That's really good. Let's keep putting in that work. Keep putting in the work. You cannot fail. You cannot fail if you're consistent. When have you ever seen someone consistently do something and fail? You know? Like, just for the most part, if you're consistent towards a goal, you're gonna eventually, you know, provided the goal that is not too like unrealistic, you are gonna achieve it. If someone else has done it, why can't you do it? If somebody else did it in maybe a couple years or something like that, you know, you could do it. You could do it too. Because a lot of people have achieved trading consistency in just under a year. You know, it's not something that is very special and unique. A lot of people have done it. NY's turn to be sideways. Yeah, you see, now we're coming into that that next hourly candlestick, which usually ranges for a bit. I had an idea for videos, Vic. Not sure if it's a good idea though, but how about your viewers teach you their strategies and you test them with them? Yeah, I mean, it's a good idea, but it's gonna take, you know, like the problem with that is when you're not a consistent trader, there's a lot of going back to the drawing board, you know, and then some strategies just need a lot of you need to really refine and understand the strategy to give the best advice. You know what I mean? Because if this guy's trading Fibonacci and that guy's trading fair value gaps, you really need to dig into what it is, because every trader has their own edge in a sense, their own way of looking at charts. So I think it's like, it's very difficult, because even for me, my strategy took me about a year to really perfect it, you know. So now imagine somebody who's at this level and then giving them that advice when they still need so much. You don't even know what level that they're on. Is a tricky, because it could be all the way down here, the strategy could be in the middle, so it becomes very complex to what they need to do to make this a profitable strategy. But I think at the end of the day, when you focus more on risk management and a good psychology of not over trading, not over risking, then I think anything could work pretty nice. You know, a simple trend line strategy could work nicely. Anything can really work. And then also just understanding the market conditions that it needs to work in and what the best setups usually look like. It's not a bad idea. I think it just takes a lot of time and effort. But that's why I like the chart work. You know, when you guys send in your charts over here, we can look at your charts and you can give like, you know, quick little insight. Because sometimes you just need that little insight, you know? Like, I remember the first time I learned about higher time frames. Man, I took a sell into a 4-hour support and I took a loss and my mentor took a buy. Or my mentor to be took a buy. So I was like, man, why did I lose this trade? I lost the trade so fast. And I see he took a buy over there. Then I'm like, shit, okay, so higher time frames exist. You know, because before I wasn't even trading on the higher time frames. Like, okay, I did get warmed up to the higher time frames, but as a complete novice, I wanted these faster moves. I was even trading the 3-minute time frames. You know, because I was trying to get on the same level I was seeing my mentor on, because he was already on the lower time frame level. So I wanted to get, or my mentor to be, was on the higher I was already on the lower time frames, but he uses higher time frame confluence and I didn't know that. So I was on the lower time frames without that little piece of the puzzle, and then I got screwed. I'm like, okay, so now I got to learn this. You know, and that's the journey. It's like every day you're going to learn something new. You know, maybe today somebody here in the chat learned about trending markets. You know, maybe today someone in the chat here learned about macro volume, and then you're going to learn something new each time. Risk management is really the key. And tons of patience, discipline over dopamine. Yes. Yeah, only the disciplined ones are free. But now we're starting to come down a bit here. Create a new lower low. Our first lower low here below 33.10. So you know, makes sense. Also with the timing right now, it makes sense that price will slow down a bit. I take almost 40 trades per day between Europe and US. Jeez, Leo. You know, 40 trades per day will be amazing. It will be amazing if you're scaling in. Can you imagine people been scaling in from here? Just scaling in buys. How much money they would have made today? If they just patiently wait. You know, I think, okay, here may be a bit unrealistic. Because, you know, price hadn't yet started trending. But here we're up like 0.60% already. And if you just wait for these days, you know, after fundamentals come out and you pick a direction. Because remember, like most of the time, it's also about getting the direction correct. With what we're expecting to happen. Even yesterday with FOMC, rates remaining the same, and then just picking a direction and then just scaling into days like this. And then you say, okay, you know what? That's it for me. I'm going to sit for the next time that I get a clean directional bias from the market and then just scale in. And don't let the noise distract you. You know, just have your stop loss. This is more based off direction. So you're going to need a little bit of a wider stop, I assume. And you're just, you know, you're just buying as price is creating structure. We broke, buy, because that's essentially what banks do as well. They're always in buys and sells. You know, in a situation like this, they could be selling. And then these positions here, you know, as they're getting into drawdown, maybe they're closing some trades over here. They're closing some profits and getting into buys and sells. And as those comes down like this, you know, they're closing the buys and they're getting their sells. And then as price starts to come up like this, they're closing some of their sells and then they're getting stuck into buys. So that's what the order flow actually kind of looks like. There's always going to be buying and selling pressure. And it's not necessarily banks are trading the same way where they're using candlestick like highs and lows and that sort of thing. I think they're more in terms of, if you're talking about smart money concept's more of higher time frame directional bias. You know, what's the probability of one thing happening over the other thing? If Powell says we're cutting rates today, obviously gold is going to move up. Who gives a shit about what candlestick pattern is forming? You know, because you're getting that direction correct. So, you know, there's so many ways you can look at markets. The problem is I've figured all this stuff out later. Man, I'm figuring this stuff out when I'm already profitable. So I can't even take advantage of it now because I'm too much in my own discipline. I'm too much in my own plan and my own strategy, my own routines to take advantage of such things, you know, unfortunately. But man, if I knew this earlier, if I knew what I knew now, I think my trading approach would also be a bit different. Especially as a new trader, it's really nice to have these types of days where you can make a ton of money. You know, back in the days, I used to see people make like $100, £1,000. They used to make £1,000 from like £50 and that sort of thing. And what they did was they used to scale into trades like this. And man, that for me was so much motivation. The only issue was there was no education. It was just like an empty 5 with a bunch of scale-ins. So I never knew why even price can move like that. I blame this guy over here. This guy's name is Eds. Man, this guy used to motivate me so much, you know. I used to get so much motivation from this guy. He was like flipping £250 into like absurd amount of money. And you know, from what I know now, I could achieve this. We're just waiting for these moments. But back in the days, this is not taught properly, you know. This was mainly done off like some sort of technical analysis over here. But man, you can achieve, and this is not financial advice, you know. Whatever I'm saying here, this is based off my own experience in the market. None of this is to be taken as a financial advice. You will lose money in the markets. The markets are terrible. You will blow your account and you will lose all your savings. So this is not financial advice. But man, this is amazing, man. This used to really motivate me. Here. And I think for something like that, it's achievable if you truly understand fundamentals. But like this, I'm not sure about this. This is really risky, you know, because before he makes his videos, I wonder how many times he blows the account, because he just uses technical analysis. So you're gonna blow accounts if you're just doing it like this. But if you're doing it with news and macros, you will get the volume. Like this, you don't know when volume is really gonna come in. But yeah, pretty cool. I waited for those clean break of structure and pull back using fib. What else we got? Yeah, volume is dying. We got the new hourly candlestick here opening in the next 5 minutes. Yeah, maybe price can consolidate now for a bit. Man, The Last of Us 2 is such a long game. I have yet to finish that game. That game is never ending. You know, the first Last of Us was pretty... it was not as long as this. This one is like 2 times the length of the first one. I'm like, bro, I just trying to end this game now. See how long this game is. Last of Us 2 length. Game is what is it called? It's 23 to 25 hours? I don't think so. This is like at least 30 hours. The main story plus extras around 29 hours. Completionist run could take 42 hours or more, including finding all collectibles. I am finding a lot of things. I'm not rushing through it. It's definitely hitting that 30 to 40 hour mark-ish. More than this 20. It's not 20 to 25. This game is freaking long, but it's amazing. It's so beautiful. So it's gonna be sad when it finishes. Because I'm just getting good. I'm getting really good now and it's about to end. Yeah, it's so sick. Especially, you know what's so cool? Because I play guitar in real life and you can actually play the guitar like in real life. So if you know like a real life song and guitar, you can play it on the game too, which is quite interesting. You play Bob Marley. You play Kenny Rogers. You played Red Dead? Yeah, man. Red Dead was amazing as well. That Red Dead, the graphics, they took it to a whole notch. That was the first time I was seeing footprints in mud. I was like, holy, footprints in mud. This is a whole new level. And also the AI, the characters, like the way they react and their storylines and everything. There's so much detail in Red Dead. They really did take it up to a new level. Rockstar games tend to do that a lot. So we're going to see it with GTA 2. GTA as well. Yeah, Red Dead was amazing. Amazing storyline. Very nice. What's the probability of gold flipping bearish today if it starts changing structure? Pretty low. I would not risk a trade on gold daily flipping. I would say probability is quite low. Because, you know, price is up right now. 426 pips. $426. So what's the probability price comes down here? But you see the buying strength is kind of weakening a little bit now. It is slowing down. Hourly is about to open 1 minute 50 seconds. I think in over the next 2 years, I'd also want to reach to a place where I fully understand how to scale in on trading days. These days, I just take base hits and call it. No. Is yearly trades only from live streaming? No, these are all the trades that I call out. You know, they're all the trades. I never take a trade without sending a signal, taking it myself, obviously, and taking before and after picture. And you can come, you're going to click on this link, and then you're going to see all the trades over there. These are all the trades that I take. You know, because I can't always take a trade on stream. Correct? I can't, because I'm trading throughout the day. I'm trading when I wake up. I'm trading now. And sometimes I even trade after stream. So it's not possible. So the least I can do is at least call out all the trades that I take. You know, so there's some kind of evidence that I was looking for that trade. That's going to be a signal or empty or C trader position or, you know, something like that. No. Waiting for a setup. Perfect time to drink water and stop trading like a raisin. Thank you, Nightbot. Thank you for the reminder. Remember, guys, drink more water. Less probability to hit lows of the day. Yeah, less probability. Right now on the 15, it's created like some kind of a support over here. You have a resistance by 33.10 and a really nice range here. It's like, you know, about 100 pips. 100 pips below that wick, 33.08. Starting to form like some rejection wicks here. But yeah, definitely like be very cautious about the sells. I still think like that would be nice to get more structure towards the downside. We just created one new lower low. Nothing too significant over here. Price can still keep moving up bullish. Bitcoin. All right, let's see. BTC. Bitcoin on the daily. That's how we go here on the monthly. Monthly Bitcoin. Oh. Accumulating. We're accumulating here. This is the next time to be buying crypto because it's giving you like a sort of area here to say that if we're accumulating, you know, then price should keep moving up. It's like a bus stop basically. It's taking a pause to continue moving. Just the same thing like it did over here. It took a pause, pretty big accumulation there, so it can keep moving up. Same thing that it did also all the way over here, and up over here. It's like accumulating. It's accumulating. Once it also starts breaking some wicks, confirming some of that momentum towards like around that 130 area. I think overall crypto will go up. But what's going to be interesting is also like because of the rate cuts, and this is crypto against the dollar, with the rate cuts coming in October, I think crypto should fly up. It should move up towards 130. We should see that move. So I think that's what people in the crypto space are waiting for now. They're just like, oh, Powell, lower these rates. You know, they want him to cut rates so something maybe like crypto can move up against the dollar. So that's gonna be the next move. That's the main event, chat. Like if we're looking at our trading year, these rate decisions are pretty huge. You know, that's the main event. That's a Floyd Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. That's what people are waiting for. You know, in between that, we have like the tariffs. We have small things happening here and there, but that rate decision is going to be the main thing. That's why Trump wants that thing to happen quick steps so he can make a few $1 billion. I'm sure Trump is nicely positioned somewhere waiting for those rate cuts to come in. That's why he gets pissed off with Powell, trying to fire him. It's like, this guy is holding us back. He's holding me back from making billions. Billions of dollars. The market is a place where the rich get richer. Euro USD, please. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the problem. That's why it's not taught in schools. Because why would the rich want to teach you how to get rich? Doesn't make sense. Then how are they going to be rich? You know, how are they going to be rich if they start teaching you this in school? We need a productive society. You know, schools are perfect for having a good society because we need people to fix the roads. We need doctors. We need lawyers. We need all these people. So it's a perfect for building a very good, diverse society. But you can't all be rich. Then it wouldn't work. Because then you're going to be too smart. You know, then you're going to start thinking that the economy is one big Ponzi scheme. Once you truly understand the way the economy works, you're going to be like, damn, this is a scam over here. Even the way banking systems work and all of that stuff, and how they can print digital currency and then make it into like physical and then put value onto things. It's going to be too much information. But Euro US dollar is currently bearish. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 previous bearish days. It's created like a really nice sort of opportunity for maybe a bullish continuation. Let me see how this looks like on the quarterly. Oh no. Quarterly is bearish. We got a support area over here and you have a resistance all the way up over here. quarterly time frame is bearish. The daily has been coming down predominantly. Let me just see on the 5 minute. 5 minute has been, yeah, previous day has been pretty down. Currently price is up 0.36%. So I would say I'm definitely more bearish on the euro US dollar than anything else. I would be expecting this thing to come down, but the structure doesn't look really that appetizing because you have loads of resistance points within this area here. So this is like a no trade zone. Yeah, I mean, structure does not look good for any trade setups, to be honest. The only thing I can say is the buys only look good above like 1.146 because you have some nice clean range over here. And the market, I think then the market will prove to you that it wants to move up, but you're taking it off a higher time frame, maybe like something like the 15-minute candlestick to close above this area, and then to continue to move bullish. Because as long as we're below this resistance, then I think, you know, price might continue to move down. But on the lower time frames, I don't see any proper structure for anything at the moment. Yeah, I don't like euro. Man, that euro pair is really not nice to trade. It gives you zero spreads, like very tight spreads, but it's not a good pair to trade. The psychology of the way euro US dollar moves, I've never liked it. But you see, like, price here now is still kind of moving up. It's reduced the volume, so it's starting to consolidate a bit more like we anticipated, but we're still not moving downwards bearish. So we haven't gotten a change of character yet. So still creating new higher highs and lower highs. See, we're also still respecting key level of structure here by 33.08. Although we did create like a small lower low over here, this will still be the key level of structure that you want to see price break. That's going to be a little bit more significant, and then re-break that again. Then you're going to say, okay, you know, we're starting to move down. But here's like a no trade zone. So it's probably just going to accumulate. And if it re-breaks the highs, it's going to try and move up again. But definitely with this hourly candle, we're actually expecting lower volume, so accumulation. And we also have hourly SMA that just tapped into those highs. Are gold future contracts correlated with gold spot price? Yes, I think so. It's like the same thing. The price action looks the same. Rate cuts will increase gold? Yes. Rate cuts will increase. Gold and possibly Bitcoin. Might see BTC rise too. Rise.
Spartans!
Oh no, we haven't done that in a minute.
What is your profession?
Figma to... Oh, 50 billion. Figma. I used to use Figma. Figma to 50 billion or not. This is like some Wall Street bets. This Figma going on... oh, look at this. Yeah, I used to use Figma over here. Figma is pretty nice. That's a really nice software. Let's see what people are talking about this company. Figma balls, bullish then, 81% Wall Street bets. Damn, this thing may be going to $12. 81% from retail investors. AI doesn't need graphical interfaces, so Figma is cooked in 10 years. 90 billion easy. This tech will be replicated and phased out as soon as a new best version comes out. Rocket that shit if it gets shares. Buy that sheet. Buy that sheet, Mr. Rashid. Buy that sheet. You got Figma. Yeah, if you're working in a company, you know what you should do? You should tell your boss, hey boss, you know, there's this new app over here we can use to collaborate. And it's really nice, you know, it's a very nice collaboration tool. You can like work with people and designers, and you know, you can all look at the same thing like this, and then you can all like edit the same thing. So instead of like sharing files back and forth, you're gonna have this basically like on a cloud, you know. So you got Maria over here and you got Robin over here, and then you can just both collaborate on maybe ideas, brainstorming ideas, that sort of thing. And I think it has a lot of flexibility on here. It is a bit of a learning curve, but it's manageable, especially if you got technical people in the team. It's a really nice collaboration tool, depending on what sort of work that it is that you do. You can even put like tasks. Maybe you can put like tasks on here and see, you can check those tasks if they're completed. You know, and just more visual. It's more of a visual thing. It's a good company. It's a good company. Let's see what else is going on here. I love the Wolf of Wall Street. The Wall Street bets degenerates. They're just all over the place. Man, some of them make so much money. They get these little lucky scenarios where they get to make a lot of money. But those guys are the degens of degens. Hey, what's up, Franco? We use something like that at my school for teachers to update lessons. Oh, nice. I always think like the more you can gamify something, the more enjoyable it is for a lot of people, and they tend to learn a lot faster as well. Yeah, we're just moving sideways here now. Let me see what is this? Little sideways action. A little trench action in all this bullishness over here. Can have a little bit of a trench price action, a little sideways, not bad. You know, the market's got to take a break as well. It can't move in one direction all the time. Holy, what's wrong with the market today and last evening though? Last evening was Powell, no rate cuts, and ADP. Actually, let's see what the ADP numbers. I think ADP numbers came out good. Came out good here. Yeah, we got really good ADP numbers. You see, what did I like? I'm happy I brought this up here because, man, yesterday, what did we say? What is the probability that price is gonna come out from negative? You know, there's a higher probability that price is gonna be bullish. Because look at this, man. We spoke about this yesterday. When was the last time ADP was in the negatives? Yesterday it was negative 33K, and then it got revised to negative 23K, and the forecast was 77K, and the actual was 104K. Man, those are pretty good odds. Those are very good odds if you just use previous history. The last time we were in negatives here were in February 2024. Man, February 2024, coupled with Powell saying there's gonna be no rate cuts, that means gold should move down. Correct? Man, I think that's what happened yesterday. That's why there was so much selling pressure yesterday, was because this was happening. You know, it's the same thing as the GDP numbers that come out for the pound at the beginning of every year. Usually, or not GDP, but the retail sales are going to be quite low in the beginning of the year because people spend all their money shopping for Christmas holidays, and you know, that's towards the end of the year. So you're going to get most likely negative retail sales in the beginning of the year because people are not going to be spending as much money anymore because they already spent all their money. Correct? So this is like a similar psychology of that in terms of how to trade forex factory news with high probability setups. These are high probability setups. Like, it's a bit of a gamble, but these are much higher probability setups because what is the possibility that price is going to get out of negative from the last time we were in negatives in February 2022? And look at this. Last time we were in negatives as well. Look what happened. The forecast came out as good. The next forecast here came out from negative 301k. Obviously, it's going to be higher. You get 475k. You know, and I think the same exact thing that we spoke about yesterday also happened over here. So you got that situation happen, and price on gold came down. Look at the way it just completely tanked over here. Because, you know, a lot of people, they can understand this. And the people who move the markets, they understand this. So for them, it's like a very good bet. You know, it's a very good probability trade where they're going to take more risk. You know, because they understand, the market makers who move the markets, they understand this. So I think that's why we had such a beautiful distribution yesterday. And now today what we're having is a bit of a corrective phase. That's why I believe it was, because I think this was too much of a sell-off. It could be that psychology of the market that since it was such a high probability event in line with FOMC statement remaining unchanged for interest rates, such a good probability that price moved down, that the market said today, hey, listen up. You guys really took advantage of me yesterday, you know, so we need to correct. I don't give a shit what happened yesterday, what Powell said, but we need to correct. So, you know, at the end of the day, the market's also going to do what it needs to do to rebalance itself, you know. That's why sometimes it might not make sense to you what the market is doing. But as traders, you don't have to make sense of everything. You just must like go with the flow of the market. If you can make sense of it, like how we just did now, then you can get more confidence from that, correct? So now I think it makes a lot of sense, the psychology of this. And you know, this is something that's not going to be taught to you. It's something that you have to build via experience, because where are you going to get that sort of data? You know, who's going to tell you that? Who's going to tell you that? Nobody. So it's all a psychology thing as well, to understanding that's the way that the market flows in line with all these other underlying factors. But if you just want to draw an FEG or a trend line, you know, you can still be profitable. But why would you not want to get better? You know, why would you not want to push the limits to what you think you know? See, open the casino, simulated returns. Am I doing something wrong? All the popular posts have graphs going the other way. Buy NVIDIA. Where is NVDA? NVDA. Still moving up here, or it's on the daily. Oh, NVIDIA creating all-time highs over here. Yeah, thank you, NVIDIA. I didn't know NVIDIA was so good. You know, coming from AMD, man, AMD is so behind NVIDIA right now. It is crazy. Like, man, yesterday I was playing The Last of Us. Man, I truly enjoyed gaming. I truly enjoy gaming with NVIDIA. Yeah, their new technology is insane. It's still coming up here. We're trading at about, even it's not even that expensive, you know. Buy some shares of NVIDIA. 179 bucks. I think NVIDIA is going to be moving up over here. Definitely we're heading up towards like 200 psychological mark. $200 a share here on NVIDIA. Man, the gaming experience on NVIDIA has been amazing. You know, we just got the new RTX 5090 come out. RTX 5090. So it's so funny, like watching these memes. A guy walking out of the store with a PlayStation 5. and a guy walking out of the store with an RTX 5090, because you know this guy is like years ahead of the guy with the PlayStation 5, like way ahead. But that's the thing with console gamers. They don't know the potential of PC gaming yet. I think the thing with console gamers, they just don't want to know, you know? They just don't want to know. Because I was a console gamer up until recently, and a lot of people used to say PC was good, but it's because you just don't want to know. You blind yourself from the truth. It's like in trading, you know, when you know what you're doing is not profitable, but because this other guy is doing it, you want to blind yourself from the truth and just keep doing what you think you're doing. What you think you're doing is right. But you know, if you're doing something and it's not working, you have to take baby steps to see like, how can I at least make this better for myself? Maybe for me, I'll stick to one trade a day. You know, maybe for me, I'll stick to the same concept, but maybe I'll take the cleanest concept. Or maybe I'm going to take it with the trend. You know, just to like shift something a little bit to make it more manageable. But yeah, I mean, like, this is crazy. Nvidia here is going to like $200 for sure. We're really not that far off. Like 2,000 pips, I think, below. It's not gaming what drives Nvidia. It's their unmatched AI power. Yes. I'm doing well on a decent AMD GFX card. 6950 XTX. Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, AMD cards are they're still decent, but they can't compare to that upscaling technology. As you said, you know, that AI that drives Nvidia. It's really nice. I think even Samsung is starting to use some really nice AIs over there. There's this Samsung TV called This Is Not a TV. It's like an AI TV basically. It's not a TV. Samsung. And where is it? Can we get a picture of this thing? This is not a TV. Like on the box, it literally says this is not a TV. And it's just powered by AI. But I don't know why I can't find it here. Samsung, this is not a TV. Yeah, so this is not a TV is used in a marketing to highlight Samsung's new Vision AI technology, which is presented as more than just a television. And it's got like you can play it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting thing. Small cell scope, nice. Let me see, small cell scope on gold. Small little accumulation here. Actually, that looks really clean. It's also in line with this time over here. This is 523 when markets should be slowing down a bit. Ashley, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. What monitor do you use? I want to get one. I think it's called the Odyssey something. Let me show you. It's also powered by NVIDIA G-Sync. It's got like a 144 refresh rate. Odyssey. I think, yeah, it looks like this. This is how it looks. I'm not sure if this is the exact model, but this is how it looks. Oh, but it doesn't have this thing here in the middle. Yeah, no, mine costed more than this. Way more than this. But this is a Samsung TV here. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I paid for mine, let's see, around, I think it was about like $800, something around that much. Yeah, it is 4K. It's nice. Hola G, what's up, Ken? You got a 4080 Ti and my brother has a AMD 7900 XTX, and the difference in Nvidia is insane. Yeah, it's completely night and day. NVDA. So I do believe this thing definitely has legs in it to just keep skyrocketing up. I think it takes a nice little mixture of a gamer who's also a trader to catch on something like, you know, sometimes your hobbies in real life, they help you catch such things. So if you're a gamer and you know you're into this whole tech space of GPUs and everything, then you know you could be also gamer trader who's looking at, you know, making some kind of smart investments. And because Nvidia only started moving here in January 2024. So if you notice some kind of like new technology that came in, and for you and your experience of gaming, you're like, wow, this is groundbreaking, then yeah, then you can couple that with your trading skills and make a pretty good amount of money over here. You know, also Nvidia is a pretty solid company. You know, when it comes to like gaming technology, for example, it's very solid. It's like AMD is also solid, but you know, AMD is behind. So yeah, that's a beautiful thing about trading, is that how you can use that with things that in your real life that you do. You know, let's say if you own like a shop where you sell gold, you're going to see with gold prices when's the best time to be buying, getting your demand of gold, for example. Or if you're a farmer and you're looking at soybeans, then, you know, you're going to see like how soybeans looks. Where's the price of soybeans and what you're expecting it to look like in the future. So, man, like trading definitely puts you as a very nice edge in whatever it is that you do. It gives you a very nice edge. Say with Bitcoin. Even if you're into Bitcoin, and at least you know how to read some technicals, you can see like, oh, you know, this is a shotgun play. This is a shotgun play over here. Beautiful clean range on the left-hand side. And then this just came out, which is supposed to support the idea for Bitcoin to move up. And then that lines up beautifully. Little accumulation breakout over here as well. This on a monthly time frame. Nice little SMA confluence. Let's see what the daily. Probably get sniper entries on the daily, like much better entry. Or just like an accumulation breakout right over here. But for the break to be solid, you know, whenever you're trading these things on the HTF, for the breaks to be solid, it's much nicer. This is already confirming momentum, correct? As you can see, it still respected the lows. It came pretty close, but look at what happened here, chat. It came really close, but it did not break the lows. It's the same exact thing with my trade, the one we just took over here. Same exact thing. We came really close, but look at this. We did not break the lows. We still respected the lows because at least we got bullish momentum. We got confirmation via the entry that price should be moving in that direction. So, you know, at least they got confirmation via the entry, but then you got market psychology trying to squeeze people out, but it still respects the general stop loss area. Correct? It still respected it and then moved up. I think this was a nice break here. Probably lined up beautifully with some kind of fundamental that came in. Because that daily, man, that daily just skyrocketed up. This daily candlestick just broke out of this area here with a lot of volume. And now you see, now with the timing, now you can get your sells. But not when price was moving up earlier. But with this 5 a.m. candlestick, usually we're expecting some kind of like lower volume, like we've been basically talking about. And see what happened again over here, Luke? Look at what happened here. Retested like clockwork, back and forth. Retested the entries, and then look at that. Price moved down again. So this is like repeatable patterns happening over and over and over again. So this is also something we talk about here. So yeah, I think it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice to see concepts line up like this. Small sell scalp. Yeah, it's really nice. Look at that. Just like clockwork. Retest of the entries here. And then price dumped. Dump it. It did like a small little accumulation. I think a small liquidity grab here. But there was no top wick. There's no top wick. It just formed the top wick for this candle. Because this candle had no top wick. Sometimes market creates a top wick for it on the next candle and then moves down. But also retested the entries on that. But I definitely took some people. I think this, when it happens like this, it's maybe taking people out of break even or something. You know, and then it has a move. Because that's what the market does. It's not always going to move in your direction all at once. It'll come back, you know, test with people and then continue to move up. So, yeah, man, that's awesome. No trade zone. And there's a range here. This is really small range, like 25 pips. But Bitcoin is due to keep moving to 130 in September. Come on, guys, smash the like button. Would appreciate it. Like, I think we shared some pretty nice gems here today. And even if you're a beginner trader, if you're a more advanced trader, I think if you really think about some of the things which have been said here today, I think you'll find that there's been a lot of value there. So I appreciate if we can get the likes up. Let's get it 100 likes at least. Man, because these are things, man, let me tell you something. No one told me this stuff. No single mentor of mine told me any of this stuff. You know, I had to figure everything out on my own. A lot of what I was learning was basic psychology and just like how to read candlesticks. But there's something else that you learn. Usually when you're on the charts and you're putting in the work, you're putting in your hours, there's some things that you learn that I think even maybe sometimes it's hard to teach people in like a course, because usually you need real life events to be happening and unfolding, so it kind of like hits a bit differently. Greedy buyers crying. Nice. At least I got likes 100, guys. Appreciate it. Let's go. All you gotta do is watch. All you gotta do is show up and just watch and listen. That's all you gotta do. 90% of it is just showing up. And you're just gonna get better every single time you show up. Because you know what trading is? It's not about only understanding your perspective. It's understanding other people's perspective. Because, you know, to fight your enemy efficiently, then you need to understand how your enemy thinks. You know, you always got to understand everyone's perspective. So I don't think you know it all. Because you're going to learn so much that can make you even better. But these are the ranges we're looking at here. Now price is breaking down below. This is a no trade zone, but yeah, there's a no trade zone on the 5-minute time frame. But the 1 minute, there was a 1 minute play, 1 minute play in there. It's currently in a distribution phase, heading down towards like 3304. This range below here is about, you know, like 23 pips. Yeah, buyers are crying now. The buyers are being too greedy. And prices up 0.97%. I would like to see a candlestick break below here. Break below here and then keep moving down. That would be nice. But I don't think I'm going to take another trade for the day. I'm already up pretty nice for the day. And it's a pretty nice way to end off the month over here. I don't want to spoil it by taking another trade. Potentially, you know, every trade has a potential to lose. You always got to think about losing first. Even if, you know, we've been completely slaughtering markets and trades are going beautifully over here, and, you know, not having too many losing trades, and you always want to be cautious because the next loss is just around the corner. Yeah, this was, I don't know what trade this was. This is a consolidation play that negative 1.35. Oh, I remember this trade. Yeah, this was the hourly bottom wick. This is a buy. Man, you know, price still moved up, but it was surviving that hourly bottom wick. That was a problem. Oh, and I also missed one. That was a second console play. I remember this day. I saw one happen, and then I took the one. Problem was, there was an hourly candle. It almost hit my TP as well. It was just a few pips away. Then hourly bottom wick was formed, and then it pushed up. Yeah, 50%. Yeah, 50% in July. It's been an insane month, but you know, I've taken so many trades. I've done work for 2 months. Basically, that's what's happened here. I've taken like about 50 trades. I've taken 50 trades. That doesn't mean I got 100% win rate, obviously. But you know, you're gonna have some trades are gonna lose less, and some trades are gonna win more. But this is, man, this is work that I've done for 2 months. This is 2 months for me worth of trading. I think I did way too much trading this month. Way too much. So yeah, that's it. If you want to see all these trades here, guys, just watch videos on my YouTube channel or click this link over here. Then you can go and then you can see it. Okay, then you can study that. But yeah, I think July is coming to a good end over here now. Up plus 50.48 gross. So I think, yeah, I'm just gonna call it a day there. I'm just gonna call it a day there. So see you guys tomorrow. See y'all during a London Open tomorrow. I will be trading tomorrow too. We got NFP tomorrow. So we gotta take care because of Freaky Friday. We also got Freaky Friday. Weekly candlestick is closing. So hopefully tomorrow we get like a good day like this as well, where price is just like moving, correct? Like today was pretty simple, straightforward day. Markets were trending. So we're gonna see how Freaky Friday is gonna be. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little session here. Hope you learned a thing or two, and I will see you in the next one. Adios.
Now we bout to dip. My boy said to stand.